friend that the Prime Minister has been very clear. She is seeking the shortest possible extension to make sure that we leave in an orderly fashion with a deal. My Secretary of State suggested at second reading that the House of Lords, the other place, might wish to correct the flaws in the bill. The combined effects of the amendments corrects deficiencies in the drafting and mitigates some of the severe impacts that the bill could have otherwise triggered. And like the honourable gentleman for Sheffield Central, I would like to address each of the amendments in turn. The amendments tabled to Clause 1 in the name of the noble Lord Robertson reduce the chance of an inadvertent no deal. The bill, as originally drafted, and as I pointed out at committee stage, created a risk that we could be timed out and be unable to agree an extension with our European partners and implement it in domestic law. The bill requires that motion to be moved the day after royal assent. If we ran past midnight, that could mean that we were debating the motion on Wednesday, the same day as the Council. The noble Lord identified a further flaw in the drafting, whereby at page 1, line 2, it states that only the Prime Minister can move a motion in the House of Commons in the form set out in this bill. Members of the House will be familiar that the usual drafting states a Minister of the Crown. In seeking to restrict the moving of this motion to just the Prime Minister, it would mean that the Prime Minister could not travel on Wednesday until after 1 p.m, when she would be required to move the motion, disrupting discussions with EU leaders ahead of the Council. The House will appreciate the importance of the Prime Minister meeting European leaders before the Council and the need to be ready to make the case for an extension. It is difficult to see how frustrating this process would help the UK to obtain a positive outcome, and as such, the Government supports these amendments. The amendment tabled in the name of the noble Lord Goldsmith, Amendment 4, removed subsections 6 and 7 of Section 1 of the bill, requiring the Prime Minister to return to Parliament after the European Council to seek agreement to the length of the extension. We did consider a version of this amendment in this House, moved by my honourable friend for Camborne and Redruth, but those on the benches opposite voted against it. So we are now in a situation where Labour peers, once again, are correcting the errors that were inherent in the original bill. If subsections 6 and 7 were allowed to stand, we would need to return to the House and seek their approval for an extension on Thursday, even if that extension had already been agreed on Wednesday. That simply does not make sense. I'm happy to give way to my honourable friend.